Hey everyone. So I'm Nilay Kumar and I'm your law mentor for GK. So this is September 1 to 10 part 2 in continuation with part 1. Okay. Just a small advice. Before before attempting this quiz or before viewing this video, I would request you to kindly read Saransh, which is available on our website. Okay, so yes, Saransh is our GK material and it is available on our website www.yourlawmentor.com. So let's begin with our quiz. Question number 1. Where was India's first helicopter summit held? New Delhi, Shimla, Srinagar, or Dehradun? The answer is D. Dehradun. Next question. Time Bank is an initiative taken by which Indian state government? Hint, this state is the only state with happiness department. Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh or Jharkhand? So the correct answer is C, Madhya Pradesh. The current governor of Madhya Pradesh is Lalji Tandon. The capital is Bhopal and the chief minister of MP is Kamal Nath. Next question. The multimodal terminals are being built on which national waterway? 1, 2, 3, or 4? The answer is National Waterway 1. The National Waterway 1 is also known as the Ganga Bhagirathi Hooghly River System and it passes through 4 states: Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, and West Bengal. Next question. BIMSTEC is a group of 7 nations, one of them being India. Which of the following countries is not a part of BIMSTEC? Is it China, or Thailand, or Bhutan, or Myanmar? The answer is A, China. China is not a part of BIMSTEC. What is the full form of BIMSTEC? Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. There are 7 member nations of BIMSTEC: Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Myanmar, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Thailand. And the secretariat of BIMSTEC is situated in Dhaka, Bangladesh. Next question. Which university topped the Times Higher Education World University Ranking 2020? The important point here is that this university has topped this list 4 times. Answer is University of Oxford, option D. Next question. Who has been sworn in as the Prime Minister of Sudan? Omar al-Bashir, Abdullah Hamdok, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, or Hassan al-Turabi? The answer is B, Abdullah Hamdok. Omar al-Bashir was the previous Prime Minister who was ousted by its own people. So now let's understand or let's go through a bit about Sudan. So Sudan is officially known as the Republic of the Sudan and is a country in Northeast Africa. The capital of Sudan is Khartoum and the currency is Sudanese pound. Now the Republic of Sudan had to go through a series of violent attacks from its own government before transforming into a democratic government. So what happened in December 2018, massive protests began in Sudan against the then Prime Minister Omar al-Bashir. This protest was due to the bad governance and the rising prices of goods. These were the 2 main reasons. And this ultimately led, or you can say converted into violent attacks against the then government and then the government attacking the protesters, among which many protesters were killed. The local reports say that only 40 people were killed, but there's an estimation by many countries that it was much more than 40 people. And this led to a lot of human rights violation. Okay, and ultimately, because of this human rights violation, the African Union, just like the European Union, the African Union ousted, or you can say expelled, they removed Sudan from the African Union. And ultimately, what happened was the people were so angry and they overthrew their own government. The then Prime Minister Omar al-Bashir was ousted by its own people, and the then military, where the country went through a military government as well. For some months, the military were handling the government, or you can say the governance of the country. And after that, the pro-democratic leaders and the military, they signed an agreement and ultimately converted this country into a democratic government. Okay, so this is about Sudan. Moving on to the next question. Safe Zone is a joint military patrol that was conducted by Daesh and Daesh in northeastern Syria in September 2019. And this is a very easy question and you must know the answer. The answer is C, Turkey and USA. In 2019, in a joint operation of USA, Turkey and Iraq, these three countries, the several ISIL leaders and their head al-Baghdadi were captured by the US Army. So this is the latest development that has been that this is the latest development against the ISIS, against the Islamic State, the Islamic leaders. Also, the relations between Turkey and US has always been like neither a friend nor an enemy kind of relationship. In fact, during Obama's presidency, you can say that Turkey was more of a kind of a friend, because the then US government and Turkey were working together to build safe zones in Syria during the civil war for the refugees and for also the government to set up military camps. But lately, in the Trump administration, these steps have not yet been possible. So we can say that after the Trump's election, after Trump being elected as the president of USA, the relations have weakened. They have moved more to the side of, you can say, enmity, but no such actions has been taken. You should know that last year, Turkey had to go through a financial crisis, and it's still going through it. They have not recovered from it. And the major reason for that financial crisis was USA had put a lot of sanctions on the country for violating the norms, violating some of the norms, some of the trade norms. Okay. Also, you should know that Turkey is the largest shelter to Syrian refugees. Now, this is something most of the people don't know. They think that USA, because of the immigration problem the USA faces, that we all know, most of the refugees are there in US, but that's a wrong fact. Turkey is the largest shelter to Syrian refugees and the Middle Eastern countries, major refugees, and to those people as well. Moving on to the next question. Question number 8. Thailand has recently become the first Asian country to manufacture cigarette packages without compulsory images printed on it. Which country was the first in the world to do so? Okay. Options: Australia, Austria, Papua New Guinea, and Cambodia. Answer is A, Australia. A, Australia. It was done in 2012 for the first time. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Which city topped the Knight Frank's report Insights on Co-Living and Asia Pacific Perspective 2019? Bangalore, New Delhi, Beijing, or Ahmedabad? The answer is Beijing, which is in China. Moving on to the next question. Good Vibes and Relumino are applications that have been launched by this company to provide communication tools to the deaf and blind people with low vision in India. Okay. So options are Nokia, Samsung, Apple, and Vivo. You must have seen, the answer is Samsung actually. You must have seen on YouTube also that there's ad of Samsung where a mother sends a child to a special school. She's blind and sends a child to a special school where she learns, and then she talks for the first time to her mother through this Samsung phone. So you can remember this answer with the help of that advertisement. Okay. You should know that the headquarters of Samsung is in Seoul, South Korea. And also you should know that the largest factory ever built by Samsung has been built last year in Noida, Uttar Pradesh. Question number 11. Who won the US Open Male Singles 2019? Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, and Andy Murray. The option is A, Rafael Nadal. Okay. You should know that this was Rafael Nadal's 19th major title and the 4th US Open title. And He hails from Spain. You should know this. Also, the winner of the US Open women's single 2019 is Bianca Andreescu, this was her first Grand Slam title. Okay, and she defeated Serena Williams, and Bianca Andreescu is from Canada. Now, you should know what is Grand Slam title. Grand Slam title are the 4 major tennis open, you can say tennis competitions or championships that happen at 4 different times of the year. First is the Australian Open that mostly happens in the month of January. Then we have Wimbledon. Then we have US Open, and then we have French Open. So these are the 4 major Grand Slam titles of tennis, and you must remember the single males and single women's winners of the entire year of all these 4 Grand Slam titles. Okay, and the country to which those players belong to. That's it. Moving on to question number 12. Who has been appointed as the Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister of India? Nripendra Mishra, Rajiv Maharishi, Amitabh Kant, or Pramod Kumar Mishra? Answer is D, Pramod Kumar Mishra. Amitabh Kant is currently the chairman, is currently the CEO of Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog ka chairman is the Prime Minister of India, that is Narendra Modi, and the CEO of Niti Aayog is Amitabh Kant. Then moving on to question number okay, one more important thing here. Most of there has been a CLAT paper in which they asked the question, who is the senior most civil servant in India? So you should know that the senior most civil servant in India is the Cabinet Secretary, and currently the Cabinet Secretary is Rajiv Gauba. 13th question. Hindi Divas is celebrated on this day. Hindi Divas commemorates the adoption of Hindi as an official language of India in 1949. So this is the extra information. Okay, this is the extra information that has been given, and Hindi Divas is celebrated on September 14. Moving on to question 14. Which of the following is the first Indian state to be carved out on linguistic basis? This is also a very common question in CLAT and AILET. This has been asked in one of the CLAT papers. Kerala, Arunachal Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, or Andhra Pradesh? Answer is D, Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh was formed in 1956 by the State Reorganization Act of 1956, which was passed by the then Parliament. Okay, and since your law aspirants, you should know that Article 1 tells about the Union of India, and Article 2, 3, and 4 of the Indian Constitution enable the Parliament by law to admit a new state or to increase or decrease the area of any state. Okay, moving on to question 15. Now this is a very important and a very good question. The Sustainable Development Goals, also known as SDGs or the Global Goals, were adopted by all the United Nations member states in 2015. Okay, it consists of how many goals? 21, 35, 12, or 17? This is, you can say, a high level question, and these types of questions are very low in number, are very less in number in CLAT, but they do come. Okay, out of 50 questions, there is a possibility of 5 to 7 questions that will be difficult, not directly from the current affairs. Okay, this is related to current affair, but this is a static GK question. So the answer is D, 17. There are 17 goals under the Sustainable Development Goals, and you should know that the Sustainable Development Goals are a collection of 17 global goals designed to be a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. This line has been directly picked from the resolution that was passed by the United Nations members in 2015. Okay, and their intention is to achieve these sustainable development goals by 2030, And the name of the resolution is UN Resolution 70/1. 70, this is 70/1. This is the resolution that was passed by the United Nations in 2015, and it has been accepted by all the members, and this is for the Sustainable Development Goals. Moving on to question 16. Which of the following is the newest railway zones in India? This was the very first news in the month of January or February of 2019. This was a part of the current affairs of the previous CLAT also, but did not come in the paper. So the answer is B, that is South Coast Railway Zone. You should know that before this there were 17 railway zones, and now we have total 18 railway zones in our country. 18 railway zones. You should remember this. Moving on to the next question. This is a static GK question. Who among the following was the first Dalit president of India? Ramnath Kovind, Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy, V.V. Giri, or K.R. Narayanan. The answer is D, K.R. Narayanan. You should also know that Ramnath Kovind is also a Dalit president right now. Question 18. What is the official currency of Sudan? To be specific, North Sudan. We just did this. It is Sudanese pound. Sudanese pound. Question 19. Now this is one of my favorite questions. European Union is a group of how many countries? 30, 32, 24 or 28? The answer is D, 28 members. Okay, so European Union is a group of 28 European nations. For example, UK, the most important ones, or you can say the biggest countries, UK, France, Italy, Germany. These are the 4 most important countries in this, or you can say most prosperous countries also in the European Union. Okay, the headquarters of European Union is in Brussels, Belgium, or you can say the seat of the parliament is in Brussels, Belgium. One more important thing is that there are 3 important people in European Union. First is the president of the council, then is the president of the parliament, and then it's the president of the commission. Okay, so the president of the council is Donald Tusk. The president of the parliament is David Sassoli, and the president of the commission is Jean-Claude Juncker. If you don't know the spelling, you can search the internet. So you should know the president of council, the parliament, and the commission of the European Union. Also, there is a term Eurozone members. Eurozone is a term used for the nations that are part of the European Union, and they use euro as their official currency. Okay, so there are currently 19 Eurozone members. These 19 members are a part of the European Union as well. Okay, Eurozone is not a separate entity, it's part of the European Union. Okay, you should also know that the countries which are part of the European Union, they have a type of visa in which if a foreigner wants to visit, if has that visa, that foreigner can roam in all the countries that are part of the European Union. So this is a kind of thing that the European Union has an advantage over the other, you can say as an edge over the other countries. Also, since we are on the topic of European Union, you should also know the deal with UK, or you can say the term Brexit. Britain is going to exit European Union. The deadline was in the month of March 2019, probably 27th March was the deadline, but it has been increased up till July, I guess, and again it has been increased further. The main issue is that when a vote was taken by the people whether Britain wants to exit or not, it was more of the results came out to be that 51% people said they want to exit and 49% people said they don't want to exit. So this is the reason that just because of Brexit, we are seeing the 3rd Prime Minister of UK in just 3 years. Okay, so you can read a bit about Brexit as well. Moving on to question 20. Now this is also a static GK question. It's a difficult one. Siam is the former name of which country? Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, or Japan? Answer is C, Thailand. Okay, Siam is the former name of Thailand. Moving on to question 21. Defense Research and Development Organization, also known as DRDO in short, works under which of the following ministries? This is also a very interesting question. Ministry of Earth Sciences, Ministry of Defense, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Ministry of Science and Technology. Answer is Ministry of Defense. Its headquarters is in obviously New Delhi, and it was founded in 1958. The current chairman of DRDO, which is a very important person, that is Dr. G. Satish Reddy. If you're not clear about the spellings, kindly refer to the internet. Question number 22. Which of the following positions were not held by Ram Jethmalani? Now, this is, as you all know, Ram Jethmalani passed away in the month of September. And so this question is related to him. So the options are Member of Parliament, that is Rajya Sabha, Union Minister of Law and Justice, President of the Supreme Court Bar Association, and Chairman of NALSA. So this is a very easy question. If you don't know the facts, you can definitely use your logical reasoning. Answer is D, Chairman of NALSA. You should know that the Chairman of NALSA is always the second most senior judge of the Supreme Court. Okay, for example, currently the Chief Justice of India is Ranjan Gogoi, and the Chairman of NALSA is S.A. Bobde, because S.A. Bobde is the second senior most judge in Supreme Court right now, and therefore, since he is the second senior most and Ranjan Gogoi is going to retire, so he is going to be the next Chief Justice of India. Question number 23. ASEAN is a group of how many member countries? 9, 10, 11, or 12? Answer is 10. These ASEAN member countries were once invited as chief guests to our Republic Day. It's probably 2016, I guess. In 2016 or 17, you can check from the internet. These are representatives, or you can say the presidents or the prime minister of the ASEAN countries were invited as chief guests to India on Republic Day. Okay, so it was founded in 1967, and the headquarters is in Jakarta, Indonesia. Jakarta is the capital of Indonesia, and the name of the members, the 10 countries are Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore, Philippines, Malaysia, Vietnam, Brunei, Cambodia, Myanmar, which is also known as Burma, and Laos. Moving on to question number 24. The World Development Report is an annual publication of the United Nations Development Programme, also known as UNDP in short, International Monetary Fund, IMF, the World Trade Organization, WTO, and the World Bank. Answer is D, the World Bank. Now, what you should know about the World Bank. You should know its headquarters, which is in Washington, D.C., USA. You should know that the World Bank, the World Bank is a group. The World Bank, there are two terms. One is the World Bank, and the second is the World Bank Group. So what's the difference? First, let's understand the World Bank Group. Now, the World Bank Group is a system of 5 agencies. First, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, IBRD. Second, the International Development Association, IDA. Third, the International Financial Corporation, that is IFC. Fourth, the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, MIGA. And fifth, the International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes, that is ICSID. Okay, so these 5 agencies together make the World Bank Group. Okay, but separately, if IBRD, that is the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and the IDA, that is International Development Association, are referred, these two together form the World Bank, because only these two are the agencies which provide loans for development programs to all the countries. Only these two. Therefore, the work of a bank is actually done by only these two agencies and therefore known as the World Bank. So the basic difference is the World Bank group is a group of 5 agencies, whereas the World Bank is a group of only 2 agencies, which is also part of the World Bank group. Okay. You should know headquarters is in Washington, D.C. and the functions of IBRD and ID is important. IBRD offers loans to middle income developing countries. Okay. And the IDA offers loans to the poorest developing countries, for example, the African countries. Okay. India gets its loan from IBRD. Earlier, we used to get from IDA, but now we are getting loans from IBRD. This is the difference between their functions. Also, write in the comment box who is the president of the World Bank Group. This is a very important person and an important question from the perspective of your exams. Moving on to the last question. Which of the following is not an organ of the United Nations? ICJ, International Criminal Court, Economic and Social Council, and the UNGA. So, you know, UNGA is definitely a part of it. Okay. And ICJ is also a part of it. So you can definitely cancel option A and B directly. We are left with option B and option C. Now you have to apply your knowledge. ECOSOC is a member of United Nations group, the entire United Nations. So answer is option B, that is International Criminal Court. International Criminal Court. Then the United Nations has 6 principal organs. You should know the name by heart. The General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, the Trusteeship Council, the International Court of Justice, and the UN Secretariat. These are the 6 principal organs of the United Nations. The headquarters of the United Nations is in New York, United States of America. The current Secretary General of the United Nations is Antonio Guterres. Antonio Guterres is a Portuguese politician and a diplomat. Okay, this is important data. While you are memorizing the name of the chairman or the Secretary General or the president of these types of international organizations, you should know their nationality as well. Okay, and if they were holding any important position before. For example, Antonio Guterres, who is currently the 9th Secretary General. This is also important data, the addition of the post they are holding. So 9th Secretary General of the United Nations. Okay, he is from Portugal. And before holding this position, he was the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. Okay, United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees between 2005 and 2015. So these are some of the things that you need to remember about international organizations like the United Nations, the World Bank, the IMF. Okay, I will try to provide a list for this also, but you also, while you're reading this every week or every month, please note down these points. Okay, so this was the last question. So we are done with September 1 to 10. After this, we'll be coming to September 11 to 20 data. Okay, so for any queries, you can definitely reach us at our Gmail account, and you can visit our website also, yourlawmentor.com. Okay, and that's it. So we are done with this. And if you have you want any kind of clarification, or if you find any type of error in these questions or any of this related, kindly draft a mail to us. Okay, so thank you and have a nice day.